Senator Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Haaland, I wanted to just take a moment here to discuss the administration's budget priorities and how they relate to the department's management of the Colorado River. So snowpack in the Colorado River Basin is, I think it's about 154% above average. I think runoff is a little bit better than that. But that doesn't mean this drought is over. Worst drought in over 1,000 years, as far as we can tell. And one good year of snowmelt is not going to reverse 20 years of prolonged drought. And it's left Lake Powell and Lake Mead at historically low levels. And this is a long-term problem. This is why Congress has provided significant resources to the department in the bipartisan infrastructure law and in the Inflation Reduction Act. Can you provide an update on how the bipartisan infrastructure law and the Inflation Reduction Act dollars are being spent, and how much is left of that money, how much is left to address drought across the West, both through infrastructure and efficiency upgrades through conservation?
Thank you very much for the question, Senator. And of the $8.3 billion in bill funding through fiscal year 2026, Reclamation has allocated about $1.8 billion to projects across the West for water conservation and recycling, more storage, rehabilitation of infrastructure, and so forth. This also includes last month's announcement of an additional $140 million to fund 84 projects conserving over 230,000 acre-feet of water. We are also working quickly to use the $4 billion in funding provided within the Inflation Reduction Act, $150 million for the Gila River Indian community. That saves about 125,000 acre-feet of water, and more in about similar in 24 and 25. In the Upper Basin, $125 million out of a $500 commitment available for a system conservation pilot program. And in the Lower Basin, we've committed $250 million to the Salton Sea. We're happy to get this all on a sheet for you and forward that to you with all the numbers. If
That'd be great. So there's about $6.5 billion left in the bipartisan infrastructure law to still be spent on Western water infrastructure. Is that correct?
You're better at math than I am, Senator. That sounds about right, though.
All right. Well, you know, this issue isn't going away, and having one good year is not, it shouldn't make anyone feel like we have more time. I don't think we don't have more time.
We recognize that.
Right. Thank you. Secretary Boudreau, you know, one action we took in the bipartisan infrastructure law was to substantially boost funding for water smart grants by $400 million. That's 10 times what we normally do in an annual appropriation for that specific program. And these grants are important because they help farmers increase the efficiency of their irrigation systems. And I want to thank the administration for proposing to increase these grants to $62.4 million. It's the highest proposed increase in this program since 2017. Unfortunately, these grants don't always make it to the communities who need them the most. For example, farmers in Pinal County have benefited very little from the Water Smart program. Last January, they lost their entire Colorado River allocation. All the water they got from the river, gone. Pinal is a major agricultural community in Arizona, so it's important not only for Arizona, it's important for the country. And by some estimates, they've had to fallow about half of their farmland. So, Secretary Boudreau, as the department advocates for this increase in Water Smart grants, I'd like you to look into what actions the department or Congress could take to increase accessibility for Pinal County specifically. Could you give me a commitment to work on this?
Yeah, absolutely, Senator Kelly. And you put your finger on an important issue. We look at all the different programs and funding streams we have to meet communities' needs as well as get conservation deployed. And some of those tools don't match up with the needs of communities. And so you absolutely have our commitment to continue to work to figure out how to get water-smart resources into the communities that need them.
Yeah, Pinal County was just hit really hard and early by the drought contingency plan as levels drop below, into Tier 2 of the drought contingency. So thank you.